let's go find those articles. It's best if we have something to actually look for so I can show you the steps. So I'm going to use the idea of falconry. Falconry. It's the use of birds of prey like falcons, hawks, eagles to hunt. It's mentioned in Song of Roland. It's mentioned in the Canterbury Tales. It was a pastime that was extraordinarily popular in medieval England, and it's still very, very popular in places like Saudi Arabia and Mongolia. So, go to the library website. If you go to the section right under where it says libraries, it says articles. Click on that and look down. What you'll see is a word, databases. Databases is a librarian's term for all the lists of journals. Now, there are several different companies that provide journals to the library. ProQuest, EBSCO, JSTOR, and Project Muse. Those are the 4 big ones that you'll probably be using. But those aren't separate journals. Those are just sites that have the journals. So you have to look in them. But what searching the database makes easier is that you don't have to find the journal that you think you might use. What you can do is enter a subject or a keyword, and then that database is going to search all of their journals for you. Very important. So, recommended database for most topics. Click on that. You can see Academic Search Complete, that's EBSCO. ProQuest. Let's try Academic Search Complete. So we'll click on that. So we're up here on the EBSCO page, and we're going to put in our search term, falconry, Falconry. Okay, select a field. We can search by author, we can search by subject terms, geographic terms. There's various ways to make your search more accurate, but let's just try falconry. So, hit the search button. Let's see what we get. 166 search results. So 166 articles. Doing pretty good. That's not too much to look through, and that's not 0. So, time to start looking through these abstracts. An abstract is a very short 50 to 250 word summation of a book or an article. The author has created it so that you can look at it very quickly and get the gist of the article. You can see there's lots of different good articles. Some of these are very modern. Some of them are very old. You can end up finding articles from the 19th century in some of these. So start looking for these. They've also got them in different languages. That's not very helpful. But keep looking. This is where you're going to find the stuff. Now, if you end up, sometimes you end up with thousands of responses. If I had typed something in there like, coins, search, 13,333 results. So, way too many articles for me to look through. That's one very long search time. Don't want that. So, how can we narrow that down? All right. Well, we go up into our initial search area and we type in maybe a time. Okay? So let's type in medieval. Make sure you spell it correctly. And hit search again. Let's see. 124. Okay, 124 articles, much better. Medieval Britain and Ireland in 2012. It's a article on archaeology. This is great. So you've narrowed down your ways of looking for this particular article. There are other ways to narrow it down. EBSCO is particularly interesting because you can limit it down to full text. You can limit it down to scholarly peer-reviewed journals. So Coins Medieval, that takes it down to 106 results. So, ways that you can save yourself some time, get right in there and get your information. So what happens if you're not getting good results? Well, go back to the original databases, find a different database. Let's go into the databases A through Z. Some of the other databases that people have used, JSTOR. JSTOR is the granddaddy of all of search databases, so it pays to be very familiar with their way of searching. And all of these different databases have different ways of searching. So let's type in falconry again. Let's see what we can get out of good old JSTOR. How many do I have? 1,514 articles. Rich bunch of information, so that works well. So we're going to have to modify our search. That's still too many articles. In JSTOR, they have a modified search button that takes you back to the first page, and you hit Advanced Search. And that allows you to put in more text and narrow everything down. So falconry and medieval. And you can go down further. I only want articles. I don't want reviews. I don't want pamphlets or books or miscellaneous. I can say I only want English because I can't read anything else. So we can also set a date range if there's a particular date range you already know. We can also go down by disciplines. JSTOR has lots of disciplines involved. If we go into history, they have history 5,449 titles. That's 5,459 journal titles. That's a lot of journal titles. That's a huge amount of material to search through. So let's try it. Let's narrow it down by there. So it's going to give us from history journals. Oh, before I start, sorry about that. Let me go back one. Include only content I can access. If you don't click that, you're just going to get citations to articles that you can't download. Not useful to you. So make sure you've got that clicked. So let's see how the search goes. 58 search results. Great. That's nice. Nice amount of things to look through. Okay, the origins and earliest history of falconry from autumn of 1943. It's kind of an old article. It might be outdated. There might be new information that's come out since then. Let's see now. Vernacularization of science, medicine, and technology in late medieval Europe, broadening our perspectives. Early science and medicine. Let's see now. Year 2000. But I'm looking at the abstract and it doesn't say anything about falconry. It says a lot about medieval, not about falconry. So, let's stay away from that. It pays to read these quick little abstracts they've got here. So, making sure falconry and medieval. Okay. Go down, keep looking. Sports and 3 orders of feudal society. Yeah. You can read it online. It's for military affairs too. So you can read it online or you can download a PDF. If you click download the PDF, it's going to say, do you accept the terms and conditions? Yes. It's going to download your article. We have to wait. Now, the front page on JSTOR and many of these other site areas is going to have all the information you need for your citation right there. It's got the title of the article, it's got the author, it's got the source, the magazine it's from, the volume, the date, and the page numbers. That's all you need to input your citation right there on that front page. And then you go to the next page, and it's Sport, War, and 3 Orders of Feudal Society. So, hey, this looks like a pretty good article. It's got some interesting stuff. Let's download it. So pull up that download from the PDF. Hopefully you've got Adobe. If not, you will need it. And you will need to click on the download. Go ahead and download it. And there you go. You got one article. And we managed to get it in what? Just a couple minutes. It is not a long article. It's only 7 pages long. So it's not going to take you that long to read. And you're all set. That's one article that you can look at. Keep looking for other things. Now, for the people reading the Song of Roland and the people reading Canterbury Tales, you might not find what you want necessarily in history. You might find what you want in English literature. That there are journals that are only for English literature, and there are crazy researchers who only do work in Chaucer. And plenty of people found very good information on that. So let's see if I can find it again. Go back to the libraries page under articles. You will find databases by subject. Click on that, and you can go in. There's history, information technology, don't need that. Art, mathematics, languages. Let's keep looking. English literature. Okay. Literature Resource Center, JSTOR, Salem. Let's go to Project Muse, which is usually a very good source. So I've opened up the first page of Project Muse. It's research areas. We're trying to find literature. And we can go into English literature. And it's going to give us a list of various journals. So let's try our search. Let's, instead of looking for a subject, let's look for an author, Chaucer, and hit the search. The Chaucer Review, Studies in the Age of Chaucer. So if you're working with the Canterbury Tales, you're going to find a lot of good information at Project Muse, looking at English literature and searching for Chaucer. You're going to get 2 separate journal titles that are going to give you extensive articles of just about Chaucer. So even if you're reading Chaucer and you haven't come up with a particular artifact that you want to look at, take a look at some of these articles. Chaucer in the Culture of Love and Marriage. Let's see now. Reason and Imagination in Chaucer, The Pearl Poet and the Cloud Author. Lots of very different articles for you to look at. I hope that by going through these steps and looking at the databases, it helps you understand better how to search through the library to find the articles you need. It's very time consuming. It can be really frustrating, so calm down. If you get stuck, contact me. My email's right there. If not, the library has research librarians. It is their job to sit around and wait for you to come talk to them. They are very lonely people. Make their day, make them happy. They love to look for stuff like this. You're going to find that there are piles and piles of really interesting things in the databases in the library, and it's going to open up worlds that you didn't expect, and that's the fun part of research. Thanks.